So hi everyone, my name is Jana. I'll be presenting the first part of our presentation for the group number 1 of student presentations. So firstly, we will do a short introduction of each other. Then we will present the most relevant trends of the trend IP monitor individually, following Sven's presentation on weighing of trends. The relevant trends, and lastly, we will individually present the trends we find missing from the trend IP radar. So like I said, my name is Jana. I am an attorney at law, a certified trademark and design attorney. I work at Denmark Associates, which is a law firm within a larger corporation, Denmark Corporation.
So hello, my name is Dominic. I am also working for Denmark. That is not the reason why I'm using the same camera like Jana. It's not that Denmark is too poor to give us 2 laptops, but I also had technical problems to actually get my camera on. Nevertheless, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm also an attorney at law, but I work in a very different part of the organization of Denmark. So I'm leading the IP consulting part. And basically what we do, we take care of a lot of the things that we just discussed these days. So IP strategy, IP process optimizations, valuations, and so on. Yeah, looking forward to the discussion.
Hi, it's my turn. Hi.
Good.
I'm Stuart, and I'm here. My Chinese name is Jiazheng. It's a little bit difficult to pronounce. So when I was in France, I explained it to everybody, but they prefer to call my English name Stuart. I was an AI engineer, and I'm also a registered patent attorney practicing in China. And I am running a new branch IP law firm office in Foshan. So I'm also an IP entrepreneur, and I'm so honored to meet you here and learn more about the consultant skills from Professor Alex and from all of you. So, Eric.
So I'm Eric. I'm currently patent examiner with the European Patent Office. I'm examining patent application in the broad field of applied physics. I have a background as an optician. I work in the past on several international projects on building a large telescope for astrophysics, astronomy, and so on. Yeah, I've been also a team manager. I had a team of 12 examiners in the field of fluid mechanics.
I'm manufacturer of machine tools and laser technology, and also laser applications without machine tools. Trump has its headquarters in Germany, but is acting very globally. And there I'm responsible for the IP management team.
And I am Sven. I'm responsible for the IP management in a decorative building panel manufacturer. That's a multinational based in China, with factories in the US, in China, and in Southeast Asia. I manage both the IP and also the innovation side. So that's working with the ecosystem of suppliers to drive innovation internally in the company.
From my perspective, I just have to say that this is perspective, my personal view and my personal perspective, not the view of the law firm nor the Denmark group. So what I found in day-to-day work is that the IP management system is one of the most important systems for managing clients' portfolios. Without it, I don't think that we will be able to do like basic stuff like monitoring deadlines up until more complex stuff. So yes, one of the most important trends that I read from the IP trend monitor, I would say it's the management system. Secondly, when you deal with a lot of clients, some of them have smaller portfolios, smaller budgets. Some of them have larger budgets with their own IP departments. But we found that sometimes it's difficult to show them the value of IP. So justifying the costs is something, it's a know-how, you know, how to present it to the client so that they can understand the value of their portfolio. And so I find this as one of the most important challenges that I have faced. And lastly, the interdepartmental communication is also very relevant in a large IP company when you have clients that are clients of various departments of the company. That's why we also have a slogan, One Denmark. We are all connected, and we are all making sure that the client's IP is protected within all of the relevant departments. So communication, I would say, also the key of managing client portfolios.
Okay, I'll go on. So everybody has a slightly different read on the trends, of course, also depending on where they sit in the organization and what they see in their daily life. I mean, I think one thing that I read from it is that indeed IP is moving closer to the boardroom and top management, not as fast as we would all like to see, you know, but I would say the constant lobbying of Alex and a couple other people over the past 20 years is showing at least some impact, yeah. And I'm absolutely sure that after this course here, we'll have another big chunk or another big class of people who understand how to push this and who will push this, yeah. Second trend I see is technology is key, both, of course, in terms of, you know, the actual economy, a lot of the topics that we talked about these days, but also within the IP space. You know? So when you look at the different conferences, of course, everybody's looking at, you know, data integration and how can we, yeah, bring data together. From my perspective, of course, what is still not missing, but super important is also, you know, what do we make out of the data? No? I mean, data is nice and nice bubble charts are nice. I mean, I can tell from experience, I've created lots of nice bubble charts in my life before data was integrated. But the question is really, what do you take out of it and what do you take as a decision and then to do and a strategic action from it? And then thirdly, the scarcity of qualified resources, of course, a whole thing for the economy, at least in Europe, where we're struggling to find qualified people. But this also goes back for me in terms of thinking, you know, what does the IP function of the future look like? If we take serious what we are preaching here or what we're talking about, then the profiles of the people that we need in the function will also change a bit. No? We still need the people that we have today, the qualified experts, but we also need people with a business sense. And we should see the function as, in the best sense, as a business development function with the strategic thinking and the integration and the management skills in there as well. Stuart.
Okay, I take turns. I think the most important is efficiency of work and also the IP's impact on the stock prices, stock market, especially on its financial influences. And I think the third is how to justifying the IP expenses and also why it's important, why our services are important, even though we are expensive, but we are important. Because why? Also, on the first point, efficiency of work and also the management, I group different members, different employees into different groups. We have a preliminary touching group. This touching group consists of all engineers. They would go to the company, the client's company. They would join into it, get involved into it. They would they will actively give them technology solution. Maybe, for example, I have a team who went to a Tencent and they just work with their engineers. And my engineers find out that there may be a future solution, maybe a future technical solution for them. So we would just bring this solution back, and then we would have an IP team to just drop them into patterns and apply for them. So I think the first is that this is efficient. And so I put it on the first point. Okay, next. Eric.
What I selected as a trend is IP is key to recovery. So we observe in the Patent Office an increase in filing of 2.5% in 2022 compared to 2021, following an increase of more than 4% the year before. Especially this increase in filing comes from the US and China, mainly China plus 15% and US roughly 4%. In terms of technical fields, digital communication has increased by 11%, and the three most technical fields are digital communication, medical technology, and computing. As a trend also, how to work more efficiently at DPO. So we are introducing progressively artificial intelligence in our workflow, and how to become a powerhouse. As I said, one thing which will be important is new tools, new efficiency, more consistency, thanks to AI tools. We have also introduced a new EQE, because the European patent system depends also of having well-trained European patent attorneys. So in January 2025, we will have a new version of the EQE. And how to become a powerhouse for the EPO is also to expand the reach of European patent applications. For instance, Georgia has signed a validation agreement with the EPO. And
this our trends. First, the need for effective communication. This is on one hand internally on all the relevant levels in the company, strategic dialogue with the top management. Let's say getting good IP-related decisions with the operative units, but also connecting with external partners like R&D partners, suppliers, customers, etc. When it comes to IP. And in the end, what's important is to get an IP awareness organization-wide. Second, use potential of new technology. This is about an IP management system, which is for sure not only IT related, but also organizational related. And here efficiency is a big thing, cost efficiency, but also agility what regards time. So being swift, speedy enough as an IP organization to keep pace with what the business needs in the end. And the second aspect is creating added value out of IP data. So here it's about understanding what the business environment is doing, what the competitors are, what kind of strategy they are following, what the customers want, what are the trends, and here different business cases can be seen. Also finding new partners, finding M&A targets, etc. Third, recruiting and development human resources. This is for sure very challenging to get the persons who not only have a profound legal expertise, but also have an IP management competence, exactly that what we are learning in this course right now. So beside external recruitment, a strategy should be to further develop persons in-house with important trainings, and what's in my opinion important, to destroy boundaries between IP organization and the rest of the company in order to get a fluctuation in both directions. Direction inside IP for sure is nice. You're getting people who already know the company, the technology, etc. But also getting people out of IP organization can be nice, because these could be in the end IP missionaries, which let's say working in the direction of IP awareness, as I already mentioned.
For my part, then, the most important trends identified is basically the increasing involvement of our boards in everything that is related to IP. It has also become very important to manage up and across, meaning by that we have to communicate what we are doing, the impact of what we are doing on the bottom line in an understandable way that is actionable for all stakeholders. That also means that we need to have a holistic understanding of everything that goes around in the business. So that also means that we need to have an awareness of what is happening in other departments. We need to have some strategic insights to make informed decisions, to enable others to make informed decisions. We also see the difficulty to get human capital, basically people who have this kind of holistic understanding. And to avoid to rely on only people to pull the business, we also try to enhance resilience through standardized systems and practices so that we don't have to rely on only individuals. Then if you allow me to quickly weigh and summarize all of that from all of our opinions, it is clear that most of our trends, the most important trends that you identify is based in the business economics and in the technology field. We place a lot of importance on communication, technology, so communication in the company, out the company, including how to communicate with which language. We also see technology as an enabler in multiple fields, including AI. And then we also focus on the optimization of resources, including HR, in order to enable us to win in our respective industries.
So we will now shortly present the trends missing from the IP radar. So from my perspective, most of the trends are covered, and most of the trends that I have been encountered with. The only thing I would add for the regulatory framework is the use of AI with the EU AI Act, which is going to be enforced soon. But yeah, from my perspective, everything has been covered by the trends.
Also keep it short. No, I mentioned platform economy and industry tech convergence topics we discussed these days. Depending on where you see them in the framework, you might see they're already there, but I would just stress them a bit more.
From my perspective of view, I think working as individuals is still missing because the power of individual is becoming more and more how to say popular now. Young people choose to work as individual instead of working in a certain firm. So I have hired some young experts who are lawyers, who are stock experts, and who are maybe also patent attorney. They want to work independently. They are not hired by me, but they cooperate with me. So I think this working as individual is also an important but still missing trend.
What I saw as a missing trend in the IP radar is the company-wide implementation of an IP management system as a consequence of many factors.
Technology, the digital health, and in the field of business, the dissolving of boundaries between industries, which goes in the direction of platform economy and convergence. Dominic has already mentioned.
From my part, I'm actually quite aligned to what Martin is saying. But for us, what's most important is that we see a lot of open innovation and shortening product life cycles, which have a huge impact on how we can do business as a quite conventional, traditional manufacturer in building materials, which is not very digitally enabled. Related to that, also business-wise, we see a convergence of industries. We try to play in other industries, adjacent industries try to play in our field. This has a huge impact on how we do FTOs and how we also file our own portfolios. Also innovation ecosystems. Everything is interrelated. We work with suppliers, even adjacent players to solve problems, and we have to watch out how we manage the IP in that regard. There's also a huge push to monetize dormant IP. So 97% unutilized IP is not acceptable anymore, I think, going forward. And then regulatory, for us, it's extremely important to go sustainable. So this is also missing in the trend radar, I think, the sustainability part of the economy. And also standards in managing or how to manage intellectual property.